Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to teach you how to make any size shadow box for any project that you've got. My little project was quilling, and you can see there the paper's nice and robust because it's quilling. It does get quite strong, but it has got flimsiness to it. In the post it could get completely squashed. So I thought if I make myself a little shadow box to fit it and then put it onto the front of a card, then that will protect it in the post, and then just make a box envelope for it. But you could use these shadow boxes for anything. I mean, you can use those little tiled letters, so you can make your own little family arrangement of names. You can use it for pebble art, decoupage, so lots of things you can do it for. And the only limitation is going to be the size of your paper. Now there is another tutorial if you want to see it that shows you square ones. It's the same principle, but this is giving you the formula. This one's an inch wide frame and a ½ inch deep. So I'll link it in the description for you. And this one's a ½ inch frame with an inch deep. So you can just go about it however you like. And like I say, it can be inches, it can be centimetres. It's going to work for you. So what you need to do is work out the size of your project. So I'm going to need 3 inches wide to get it all inside, and 6 inches deep will get it all inside. Now I don't want it to be too big because it's being posted. The depth, I need to know the depth. So the depth, ½ inch seems to be the widest point. So I'm going to go with ½ inch and ½ inch frame as well. So I need to first jot down, and I'll just zoom in. So 6 inch is the length I need, by 3 inch is the width I need, by ½ inch is the depth I need. And that's just what you need to know as your base start. Now the formula for this is all you need to do is 3 times the frame, that's the width of the frame, and 2 times the depth of the frame. Okay, so my frame, like I said, is going to be ½ inch. So I'm going to have ½ inch frame. So I need 3 of those. And then I'm going to need 2 depths. So there's my depths, because they're the same. Now if this was, the frame width was 1, you just write 1, 1, 1. And your depth is 1/4, you write 1/4, 1/4. And add them all together. So this is going to equal 1, 2.5. So overall, I need 2.5 inches to make my frame section here. Now the reason you do 3 frame widths, this bit, is because you've got the one on the top, you've got the one on the bottom, but also if you turn it over, this area is actually bigger than what you need. You swallow up ½ inch. So if you made it to be without that extra frame width, then it would come in too small by ½ inch. So you'd have a much narrower area. So you just need to add 3 because this gets folded into the base, if you like. So you need 2.5 inches, but you're going to times that to 2 because it's going to be for both sides. Your 2.5 inches that side, 2.5 inches that side. So we're going to need 5 inches. You don't have to do that sum for the top and bottom. It's going to be exactly the same. So it's only one sum. And we started with a 6 for our length, but we're going to have to add on 5 to that, which equals 11. And we want a 3 width at the end. So 3 width plus the 5 that we've calculated for our frame is an 8. So your cardstock you need to cut is 11 by 8. And then you're just going to do ½ inch scores. Now this will work for centimetres. If it was 10, 10, 10, 5, 5, then you just add up that 40 and add it onto the base you needed. And then you cut your frame down. So it's simple really. You just got to remember that formula. 3 times the frame, 2 times the depth. And that's it. The frame width, sorry. And 2 times the frame depth. And that's all you need to do. And then add it on to the size that you need at the base. And then you end up with the cardstock you need to cut. Hope that's clear. And then all you need to do then is grab yourself some cardstock. So I'll just do that. There we go. So I've got my scoreboard out as well. Now, if you're using double-sided cardstock, just choose which side you want the frame to be. If you want it to be this colour, if there's a pattern, if you want it to be lengthways, or if you want it to be portrait, it's entirely up to you, obviously. What we need to do is make our score lines. If you start with the cardstock landscape, unless it's a square, then it doesn't matter. And then just do my score. So you always start with the frame, which was ½ inch. So the frame was ½ inch, and in this case the depth is the same. So ½ inch. Frame, depth, do it twice, okay? So it's just frame, depth, and then we turn it around. I like to turn mine around because if you've cut it not quite right, then, and you go along the board, you could end up with a shorter bit at this end. So it's more, I think it's more accurate, and it's easier to remember your measurements as well. So you're just scoring half one, or half one, 1.5, 2. But I like to do it in my head, frame depth, and then you won't go wrong. So frame, and then the depth, frame was half, depth was a half. And then you've got one more score to do, and that would be another 1/2 inch in, and this is for the mitre, and that would be whatever the frame depth is. So it's frame depth again, and then you just come in half, like that. And then you do the same on the other side, but I'm going to do it from the bottom, so I'm just going to come up to the 2 lines there. Probably can't see what I'm doing, but at the top you can. So we went to 2, so we need to go 2.5 down to the second line, and then 2.5 up from the bottom. So what I'm doing is I'm going to put all lines on that, and I'll come back. So what I've done is I've put all the lines on there for you. So these are all the score lines that you made. So we went half one, and then the half just down to the 2 score lines, just on a top and a bottom. Don't do it on every single side, just on the top and the bottom, or the side and the side. They just have to be opposite of each other, but don't do 4, just do 2. And then all we need to do now is make the cuts. So what we need to do, and the easiest way to remember it, is cut off all of these corner lines. We don't need any of those, so they're all going to go. So just going to cut off all of these, just like this, so they're all out. Thanks to everyone that's subscribed already as well. I do really appreciate it, and if you haven't already, I would love it if you did, because my channel's growing nicely and it'll inspire me to keep going and giving you all these lovely tips and tricks that I've learned over my decades of crafting. Decades makes me sound very old, doesn't it? I'm not. I'm 58 if you want to know, as of 2022. So there we go. There's all the corners gone. That was nice and simple. So we get rid of those, and then the next step is these little sections that we did here. So all you need to do with these is cut these down like that, and like that, and then we need to mitre, so move that out of the way or cut it off, and then we just need to mitre from that point over to that point. And this is the bit that you're going to really notice, so make sure that's nice and neat. So I'll just flip that up out the way, and then we're just going to go diagonally across like that. And that makes the foam mitre, if you like. Again on the other side, so you're going to come in, you're just going to cut down there, flip that out the way, and go diagonal. Same on this one, cut down the 2 lines, and then go diagonally across there. And that's that. So we're nearly, well, we are ready. Now I'm going to leave the lines on this side so that you can see how I'm doing the folds with the lines. It's a lot easier for you to see. But you obviously wouldn't have lines all over yours. You just have score marks. So we add the tape to all of the frame sides. So this would be this bit, the lilac bit. You're adding it to that coloured side. So turn your card over. Your inside bit would be facing down. And then you're just going to put tape to all of these 4 edges. So the last pieces. Is that the way? And folding this down is really simple to do as well. On my other tutorial that I'm going to link in the description with the square ones, I've actually put tabs on there. So if you wanted tabs, because the way I've made these ones, they will gape. Okay, but I don't think it matters for this type of project. But if you wanted the tabs in, check out the other tutorial. But it's easier to fold them when they're like this, to be honest. It's not difficult the other way. It's a bit more professional looking, I suppose, but it is a little bit tricky. You have to sort of just guide it in. But anyway, we're going to do this way. So all you need to do is take your tape off of one. Let's do one at a time. And this is all of your frame. So fold all of these 4 lines into 2. So you split them into 2 and then fold it over and it's down. Now reinforce that score that way and then pull it back 1. So make this one come flat, pull it back, and you can see it's a little bit off. But as soon as you do that, Now it's completely square. So you've got a completely square block, and that's your first frame edge. So really nice and easy to do. Again, just take your tape off of this one, fold it in half, fold it over, reinforce the score, pull it back towards you and reinforce the score. And you'll see the card was up in the air and it just went flat again because now it's happy that it's there. Now the really cool thing about this side, if you fold that in 3, you can see it's pushing the frame out, and that's just because I've cut on the outside of the score lines and I need to cut on the inside, so I'm going to take a little bit more off. And that's the beauty of this, is you can trim it to make it 100% if you're a bit of a perfectionist, and I always like things to be right, so I'm going to trim them down. So now just see if that fits in there better, and it does. But with this one, you know, we folded the other in half like this. You can do just to take the tape off, but we're only going to fold it over in 1. Okay, like that. And then we fold it 2. Now you can push these out of the way if you want, and then you fold it. You get to 2 showing. So not 3, you've got 1, 2, 3 there. So you're basically folding it in 2 and then exposing 2. You need that inside bit to go down to the bottom. Now you might think, how does that go together? Because it's jammed. Well, what you do is you fold this one back, and as you lift the bottom one up, you just slide it in. So just slide it in like that. It's quite difficult to do in the air, but just like that. And then all you need to do, and I'll mark it with a pen, is just that part of the outside frame, the long straight bit. You just need a bit of wet glue. You put it on there and you'd hold it down until it sets. Now, I'm not going to do that because it'd just be you waiting sort of like 30 seconds a corner for me to let the glue dry. But you can do 2 at a time and just pinch them in like that and hold them together. But you wouldn't do that until the end. So, because you might want to push these out the way. So do the glue in last. And then I'll show you one more time. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sections here. You're only going to flip over 1 on the bottom because you want that one. I mean, you could do 2, but this gets in the way. That's the reason why I only do it as 1. If you do it at 1, then you can come over without them in the way. You just push that down like that, and again the same thing. You just slide them in together. And again here, you just need to get all of those 4 going in together. So now you can see we've got our box frame. And I'll just show you, because it was the same size, although I'm not going to use this one. It fits in there lovely. So that's how you make your shadow boxes. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a like, a comment, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be alerted when I make new videos. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon. Bye.